Hi guys, welcome to our live video for Monday, April 6th at 7:30 p.m. on this Holy Monday. It's Holy Week as we enter towards Easter this week. I'll just wait for a little bit to see who's going to join us this evening and before we get started. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. My name is Reverend Kim Curlett, if we haven't met yet, through these meditations and postings on Facebook Live and on YouTube. It's great to be with you every evening at 7:30 to offer an evening meditation. So giving a few minutes for people to come on board and get scheduled in and settled in for an evening of meditation. We've all been busy cooking today. A lot of people I know have been cooking different things today. We had a beautiful stuffed cannelloni with ricotta and spinach at my house tonight. It was really good. Welcome to Betty and Steve and Audrey. Good to see you here. Hoping to get a few more people tuned in with us this evening. We changed our time to be clear that we start at 7:30 as opposed to between 7:30 and 8 sometimes. So folks will slowly get used to the idea of tuning in at 7:30 if they want to catch the live feed, always knowing that it's available later. So we've got a few people. Hi Wendy, nice to see you again. Good, so we have 3 or 4 people on the line now, so I'll get started. We are coming once again to an evening meditation from the Healing Oasis. Guided meditations for the mind, body, and spirit from Sharon Moon. Reverend Sharon Moon is a retired minister now in Ontario. She's also a Healing Pathways practitioner, which is a healing practice in the United Church of Canada along the lines of healing touch, and Reiki are 2 things that are mentioned. So tonight's meditation connects deeply with this idea of healing. It's titled The Healing of Blind Bartimaeus. Some of us know the story, and if you don't, I'm going to read it for you in just a moment. I want you to think about this healing meditation and other healing exercises as a way of tapping into God's healing energy for all of us. In her book, she says, though we need to be careful not to use healing meditation exercises in a way that would suggest that someone with an organic illness might expect miraculous physical cures, we can encourage openness to God's healing presence. I do think there's a difference between curing and healing. And healing is something that allows us, I think, for our spirits to be well no matter where we are and what we're going through. When we enter these stories in a symbolic, mythical way, she says, we often find surprising power for healing. Sometimes that healing might have physical manifestations, but healing works on many levels. There is healing of attitudes, healing of patterns of living, healing of relationships, healing of self-image, healing of fear, healing of alienation, and healing of memories. So I'm going to read this story to you from the Gospel of Mark. It's the Gospel of Mark, chapter 10, verses 46 to 52. And tonight I'm reading to you from the New International Version. It's titled, Blind Bartimaeus Receives His Sight. Then they came to Jericho. As Jesus and his disciples, together with a large crowd, were leaving the city, a blind man, Bartimaeus, which means son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside begging. When he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Many rebuked him and told him to be quiet, but he shouted all the more, Son of David, have mercy on me. Jesus stopped and called him and said, Call him. So they called to the blind man. Cheer up, on your feet, he's calling you. Throwing his cloak aside, he jumped to his feet and came to Jesus. In that story, we hear of folks that were around Bartimaeus not wanting him to receive a healing, not wanting him to reach out to Jesus for any kind of healing. The people then would have thought that he was blind and probably poor too because he deserved it somehow. And that exists in our culture today as well. There's so many times that that we hear, or we might even think to ourselves, what have I done to deserve this? And I want you to understand that there is nothing that separates us from the love of God. There is nothing that we do that means that we're being punished for something with sickness or illness. God walks with us in those times, and God's healing energy through those experiences of dark valleys in our lives is what can draw us closer to the healing that is God's love and God's mercy. So, are you ready to enter into a time of meditation with me this evening? A guided meditation? I'll invite you to sit or lay down. Whatever feels most natural and easy for you to do right now. Please feel free to come back to this video later if you're not ready for 15 or 20 minutes to just relax right now. I guess maybe it's more like 10 to 15 minutes. So if you are sitting comfortably or laying down comfortably, I'll invite you to make sure that you're warm enough. Make sure that you've shifted and moved your body how you need to feel completely at rest. I'll invite you to think about the story we just read from the scriptures and this idea that the second someone said, "Go to Jesus, he's calling you," Bartimaeus threw down the one possession he had. He threw down his cloak and he followed Jesus. What is it that you're willing to lay down in your life to follow Jesus, to come closest to healing with God? One of the questions she asked that you are to be asked to a group that's gathered, and that's you, is where have you found courage to act assertively in the face of opposition? It took great courage for Bartimaeus to stand up and walk to Jesus when so many others thought he didn't even deserve it. So with all those thoughts lingering, with that reading lingering, now that we're comfortable, I'll invite you to close your eyes and let yourself to just pay attention to what it feels like to be in your body. As Sharon Moon says, in your body's self. Come to your body's self this evening. This is you in this moment. This is you today, right now. Most of us go through our whole lives without even connecting to the body self, without really paying attention to this body self. And we've learned over the last few nights that in the language of Hebrew, this was called nefesh, this idea of a body soul, that the soul, the spirit, was not separate from the body, but that they were one, a spirit body. Jesus talked about our bodies as temples of the Spirit. What is it like for you to feel about yourself that way? As you begin to pay attention to your body, do you notice if there are places where tension has been stored up? Where your body feels tight, your muscles have tight knots. As you scan your body from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, notice any tender places. Notice any places of soreness or ache. Send compassion into these places in your body. Thank these places in your body for their hard work, perhaps committing to pay more attention to what they need and what they're telling you in the future. Become aware of your breathing. this life-sustaining process that goes on all of the time without you even knowing it. Notice if you are breathing only with a small part of your lungs, or if you're breathing deeply, all the way to the bottom of your lungs and all the way up to the tops of your shoulders. Notice if your tummy moves in and out as you breathe in and as you breathe out, naturally, like a baby breathing. Notice where you're tightened up, not fully open to the breath of life. Let your body relax. Let the tension flow out of your body through your feet. Begin to allow your breath to move deeper into your being. Take the deep breath down into your belly, creating inner space. Breathe in deeply. Breathe in deeply the healing presence of the Spirit, the goodness and grace of God. Take it right into the core of your being. As you breathe out, let the breath carry with it the poisons, physical, emotional, spiritual, all the poisons and toxins that have built up in your system, in your body self, in your body soul, in your spirit body. Breathe in possibility now. Breathe in the hope that the Spirit gives. Let go of the stress and tensions that are stored in your body self, in your emotional self, in your spiritual self. Breathe in life energy, the creating breath of God that was there from the beginning. Breathe out what would ever block you from being present in this time. Again, notice your body. If there continue to be tense places, imagine this healing breath moving directly to those spots. Unknotting the tension, letting go, letting be, letting open, letting unlock. Know that you are in a safe place, that this is a place where it is safe to be. Notice the inner space that's being prepared and opened inside of you. Space for the sacred presence to find room. Space for the Holy One to be with you. Your own sacred space, your own holy ground, your sacred center. I invite you to enter the story of Bartimaeus as you imagine what it would have been like to be Bartimaeus, the blind beggar, and in your mind's eye, for that is the only eye a blind person has, imagine yourself sitting on the side of a main dusty road of Jericho, a busy town. The sun is beating down, and there's a lot of noise around you. Some of the sounds you recognize as familiar. Others you strain to grasp understanding of what it might be about. Get in touch with what it would be like to be so poor, without power and security, without sight. When your eyes are open, you see nothing but darkness. How would you know when you woke up if it were night or day? Experience the darkness within and around you. Imagine not being able to see where you are walking, who is coming towards you, whether you are in danger, where something was that you had dropped. Imagine yourself expecting to be like this until you died. What feelings arise in you as you accept this reality? Imagine what in your life might have led you to being a beggar. Imagine how you were treated by family, by people in the street. Imagine what it would be like to live every day of your life knowing that others thought your blindness was a curse from God. And as you get in touch with yourself as this blind beggar, be on this hot, dusty road for a while. Who pays attention to you? What kinds of things do people say to you? You begin to hear a different kind of noise. With your ears so highly sensitive to the changing sounds, there seems to be a crowd coming down the road. Oh, you hope it's not a group of Roman soldiers. You ask someone, what is happening? Who is coming? And they say that it is the rabbi from Nazareth. Jesus, they think his name is. You know who Jesus is. You've heard about him from the street people who always seem to have the latest news. You've heard he has healing powers. This could be your chance to be healed. What longings and needs rise up in you? Let your desire for healing grow to the point of overwhelming you. As you await the arrival of the group with Jesus, let the impossible hope for wholeness scream out from the center of your soul. Let your need for healing explode within you as you're driven by a force inside you to rise up, to cry out, to beg as you have never begged before, for all your life depends on it. Feel the others in the crowd tell you to shut up, to be silent, to stay in your place. What would be your normal reaction to this? How do you usually react if people are annoyed with you? That day, the beggar Bartimaeus will not be silent. You scream out even louder with a cry that comes from the very depths of your soul. Jesus, healer, see me, heal me, have mercy. The others try to push you into silence, but your desire for healing is stronger than the fear of rejection, stronger than your concern for what others think. Then you realize that the group has stopped right in front of you. You feel it with your heightened senses. You throw off your cloak, the only possession you have, and you leap through the crowd to Jesus who is calling you. Jesus asks, "What do you want me to do for you?" You are shocked that he asks a blind beggar what he needs. No one has ever asked you that before. What do you reply? As you are in the presence of Christ, who is giving you attention and asking the question, "What do you want me to do for you?" What do you answer? What do you need? As you put your needs before Christ, what happens? What is Christ saying to you? Let yourself experience Christ's desire to heal you, to offer you what you need, What healing do you receive? Bartimaeus was given sight in the story. Imagine your eyes open to see. Imagine the light beginning to come. Imagine the colors and the shapes. What is happening in the crowd? How are they reacting? What is happening in you? What is happening with Christ? Take the time you need to be with this moment of healing. What do you want to do now that this has happened to you? What feelings arise as a result of your healing? What will this mean for your life? Look at Christ as you reflect on these questions and allow dialogue to emerge. Now come back into an awareness of being yourself, not Bartimaeus, yourself. Reflect on what the experience of Bartimaeus has to say in your own life. Where does it connect with you? Where are you able to cry out for what you need? What might you need to throw off to risk reaching out for it? What would risking healing mean for your life? How would it change your life? When you're ready, gradually and gently draw yourself back to this place. Back to your body self. Back to feeling the room that you're in. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Allow yourself to move your neck from side to side. Slowly allow your eyes to come open. And look around you as though you're seeing for the very first time. Welcome back. So if you're folks that like to journal after meditating, some of the things you might like to consider are, how did you feel God speaking to you in this meditation? What was it like to experience yourself as the character of Bartimaeus? Or one of the questions we came to in that meditation tonight was, what is it that you would need to throw off to allow healing to come into your own life? I really like this one. It struck a chord in my own life. What would risking healing mean for your life? A beautiful question. So those are a few things that you can think on when you go from here. And I don't usually sing in the evening anymore, but it is suggested that we close this evening with "Open my eyes that I may see," first just singing the first verse. So we're going to close with that as a prayer this evening. So if you know it, sing along with me. Open my eyes that I may see glimpses of truth thou hast for me. Place in my hands the wonderful key that shall unclasp and set me free. Silently now I wait for thee, ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my eyes, illumine me, Spirit divine. May the Spirit open your eyes that you may see your worthiness for being loved, for receiving the healing of God's love in your life. Don't worry about being late, Mom. My mom just chimed in. We're just finishing up. And so this will be saved and uploaded within the next couple of minutes. And so you can come back and check back in if you were late arriving and want to do this again now, or in a little bit closer to when it's time for you to go to bed. So thanks for joining me once again, and we'll be chiming in for the live video every evening at 7:30. And if you don't make the live version, they're always saved. They're saved on YouTube and they're saved on Facebook. On the Riverview United Church and 9 Mile River United Church Facebook page, just go over to the left-hand column within your computer screen, if you're on your computer, and find videos, and you'll find it there. And the links are different depending on if you're an Android or iPhone, but you can search the videos on the Facebook page there as well. So thanks once again for joining me, and I look forward to seeing some of you again in the morning at 10 a.m. for our morning reflection tomorrow on Holy Tuesday, reading further along in the Gospel of Matthew as we make our way to the cross. Good night. I love you. I miss you so much. If you'd like to have a video chat with me anytime, let me know, and we can shoot the breeze. I had a wonderful chat with Betty and Steve today, and I look forward to seeing any of you that would like to see me. I miss your face. We'll talk to you later. Bye.